Good morning, students. Today we are going to discuss functions of operating system. This is the part of Unit 1, that is Computer System Organization, Chapter 1 for Class 11th Computer Science. Functions of operating system. See, as we know that operating system is the major software which is very much helpful in starting the computer, making the devices of the computer active. The overall functions of operating system are here given. First, the main task of an operating system carries out is the allocation of resources and services. What is the first? The main task of an operating system? Allocation of resources and services. Actually, computer is having so many resources. Okay, it is having storage, it is having processor, memory, okay, permanent memory, RAM memory, so many types of memory are there, keyboard, mouse, so many devices are attached with our computer. Okay, these all are known as resources for operating system. Okay, and services it provides. So the main task of an operating system carries out is the allocation of resources and services, such as allocation of memory. Suppose we are going to start an application. Then for that application some memory is required. For that purpose, operating system is responsible for allocation of memory for that application software. Okay, allocation of devices, processor time, and other related information. The major function of an operating system are as follows. Okay, the major functions are as follows. See here, first is known as resource management. Okay, whatever the resources available with the computer, it manages, controls. Okay, for some application it gives the permission to use the resources, and for some application it revokes the permission. Okay, this management is done by operating system. First and foremost task of an operating system is the resource management. Then process management. Okay, process means the working of an application software or a software. When a software is in execution, okay, it is known as process. Okay, so during execution of an application software or the software, it requires so many resources, so management is very much needed there. That is known as process management. Then memory management. Every application needs memory, every files, every data needs memory. Then there is file management. We store file folders, we create so many files are there, so many file types are there. These are also managed and handled by operating system. Then device management. We can attach so many types of devices, from USB devices to COM port devices, okay, inbuilt devices, so many types of devices are there. Those devices are also needs to be managed by operating system, and this function is done by operating system. So there are 5 major functions of operating system. First is resource management, then process management, memory management, file management, and device management. Now we are going to learn resource management. When a computer has multiple users, suppose a computer is used by many users, then the need for managing and controlling the resources is even greater. Okay, controlling and managing the resources is even greater. What are the resources? The memory, okay, the file, devices, these are the resources of the computer. Okay, these are needs to be managed and controlled when multiple users, a system is used by many users, then these are the greater things to be managed. Operating system keeps track of who is using which resources. Okay, it keeps track of everything, who is using which resources, then grants permission to use the resources and request and handles the same request from different users and programs, okay, at the same time. So many work can be done. Okay, resources can be granted, resources can be revoked, okay, request can be made from an application software, okay, those requests are handled by the operating system, okay, from different user, from different programs. So many requests will come, okay, for different types of resources. Then operating system needs to be keep track of everything, which resources used by which one. If some resource is already used by some other user, then operating system will allow to wait for the programs or the users which needs that resources. Okay, it handles and allocates resources to multiple users. It handles and allocates resources to multiple users. Some resources are available to use with multiple users, okay, or multiple programs running at the same time and space. At the same time, multiple users can use, okay, same resources. Okay, there are so many types of resources. Some resources need to be exclusively used by some user or programs, and some resources need to be shared among different users or different programs. So depending on the time and space, there are different multiple users and multiple programs are running, and resources are allocated according to that users and programs. Okay, say what are the resources? So say for example, processor time, memory, input output devices. These are the resources which needs to be shared among the programs and the users. See here, it also decides between conflicting requests for efficient and fair resources use. Okay, conflicting request. Suppose same devices which can be used only exclusively by one person, one program, one user. Then then two or more users request for that resources. Then there is a conflict. So these conflicts are also efficiently and fairly managed by operating system. Say for example, maximum throughput, okay, then minimizing response time. These are the things. Okay, maximizing throughput means output will be maximized. Minimize response time means it takes less and less time to do a particular task. This management is done by operating system, and this management is known as resource management. Okay. Types of resource management. Resource management constitutes multiplexing resources, means sharing resources. Multiplexing means sharing resources. It is carried out in two different manners. Okay, memory or processor time or some storage devices are shared among different types of works. So some resources are shared versions. Okay, shared, it can be shared between different users, different programs. So this can be done in two different manners. This can be done in two different, sharing can be done in two different manners. First is known as time multiplexing, time sharing, and then space sharing. In time multiplexing, CPU time gets shared among different programs or users. Use it in turns. What is this? In time multiplexing, CPU time gets shared among different programs or users. Okay, CPU time. Actually, each and every program, every software, every application needs CPU time to be executed. CPU time, because CPU time, why it needs? Because software processing is needed, and only the CPU can give the processing capability to a program for the user. So CPU is the major part of a computer which is actively shared by among different softwares and users. So CPU time gets shared among different programs or users. Use it in turns. Okay, turn by turn means at a time, as we know that CPU at a time, CPU can do only one task at a time, only one task. So turn by turn, it is used by different programs, different users, turn by turn. Okay, one by one, like this. Consider a situation where different programs give commands to print at the same time. Okay, command is given, print command is given by different users at the same time, by different users at the same time. Suppose 10 users given the print command at the same time. Then this time resource manager manages the task and determines who will go next and for how long. Then there is a time resource manager. Okay, it gives time to the work to be get printed on the printer, and this management, this time multiplexing management manages the task and determines who will go next and for how long time. Okay, understood? This is known as time multiplexing. Now come to space multiplexing. In space multiplexing, instead of completing one by one, each one gets some part of resources. Yes, what is there? Memory. Memory is in one term we can say that memory is large. Large memory is available in a computer. So these large memory is given or allocated for different programs. Okay, at the same time, so many programs get executed, get stored in memory, and those memory is shared between these programs, these running programs. Okay, now see, main memory is divided amongst several running programs. Main memory is divided among several running programs, and some part of the memory is given to each and every program. OS assumes enough memory to hold multiple programs. Yes, OS, operating system, assumes means it is considered that it is having enough memory to hold multi-program programs, as it is more efficient to hold several programs at once rather than allocating all the memory to a single user. Okay, so here what is done? It is not done that a program or a single user, a single user or a single program is allocated the whole memory of the computer at once. It is not done like this. Okay, rather what happened, the whole memory is divided among different several running programs. So all the programs at the same time is treated as running and executing. Okay, one by one, it like this. This is known as space multiplexing and time multiplexing. Now understand here, time multiplexing management is done with the CPU. Okay, with the CPU. Time multiplexing is done with the CPU, because CPU time is shared among different programs one by one, and space multiplexing is done by memory, main memory. Okay, this main memory space multiplexing is done with the management is done with the main memory of the computer. So main memory is divided, means each and every running program gets their own part of the memory. Each and every running program is having some memory to execute their programs or processes at the same time of the computer. Okay, understood? Space multiplexing done with main memory, and time multiplexing is done with the CPU. Okay, see here some picture is given here. Operating system, input output devices, then storage, so many things are managed like this. Okay, computer system. Memory is shared between operating system and programs and data. Processor is here. Processor is also management. Then input output controller is there. Then input output devices is here. Printers, keyboards, digital camera. Okay, these are the input output devices. These are also known as resources of the computer. This processor is also resources of a computer. Okay, this storage is also a resource of computer where operating system, programs and data are stored. Okay, see, operating system as a resource management. Operating system also manages and protects multiple computer resources. Okay, processor, memory, application, user and communication channel. Even communication channel is also shared among different programs and different users. Process management. This is the second and major function of operating system. While a computer system is operational means it is working. Computer system is working. Different tasks are running simultaneously. So many tasks are running simultaneously. Say for example, we can listen some songs. At the same time, we can use internet. At the same time, we can give some command to print on printer, some pages on printer. Okay, at the same time, we can use Excel software so that we can do some calculation work. Okay, some programs are also running in the background like this. So many works are going simultaneously, running different tasks running simultaneously. A program is intended to carry out various tasks, and also a single program carry out different tasks. Say for example, Microsoft Word can be used to work with different tasks. Say for example, a text can be make bold, italic, underline. It can be centered, align. It can be bulleted. It can be color, change color. So many tasks can be done within a program. A single program can do several tasks. And a task in execution is known as a process. See, this is the major thing. What is here? What is a process? A task in execution is known as process. Suppose a single task, we are selecting some text and making that text bold. Okay, by clicking the bold button of Microsoft Word. This is a process. This is a process. Okay, making italics is another process. Making it underlined is another process. Okay, so the task in execution is known as process. Okay, the task which is doing at the time is known as the process. And this is the operating system manages the process very well. It is the responsibility of the operating system to manage these processes and get multiple tasks completed within minimum time. Okay, now operating system, responsibility of operating system. What? To get multiple tasks completed in minimum time. A CPU is the main resource of computer system. We all know CPU, the processor. Okay, the brain of the computer is the main resource of the computer system. Its allocation among processes is the most important service of operating system. Okay, what is the most important? Because the CPU is the most important part of the computer system. So the most important work of operating system is that its allocation among processes. CPU time allocation among processes is the most important task or the service provided by the operating system. Understood? Hence, process management concerns the management of multiple processes, allocation of required resources and exchange of information among processes. What are those things? Process management, what it does, it manages the multiple processes, allocation of required resources, memory, CPU time. This allocation is needed by some processes. So this is done by process management. And exchange of information among processes. Exchange of information means some process needs or interconnected with other process. So some information is need to be given to the next process, okay, from first process. Like this it can happen. during process management. So process management deals with the CPU, okay, CPU time, deals with the CPU time. Process management deals with the CPU time. Memory management. In a computer system, there are several types of memory attached with the computer. There is primary memory, secondary memory, so many types of primary memory, RAM, ROM, so many types of secondary memory, CD, DVD, hard disk, pen drive, okay, so many flash devices, so many different types of memory is there, okay. But we are talking here about primary memory or main memory. Here we are talking about primary memory or main memory. See, primary memory or main memory of a computer system is usually limited means very less as compared to other memories, secondary memory. Suppose a hard disk is having 1 terabyte of memory, then primary memory or main memory may be 4 GB or 8 GB, like this, okay. Sometimes it may be 2 GB also, okay. So in comparison with the other memory capacity, main memory capacity is very much limited. The main task of memory management is to give, allocate and take free memory from running process. Yes, the main task of memory management is to allocate, okay, allocate memory to the running processes. Running processes means the softwares or the programs or the part of program which are currently running, executing is known as process. We know that, okay. For those processes some resources is needed, and this memory is also a major type of resource. This is to be allocated for that process. Memory is allocated for that process. Then after using the memory and process is completed, then this memory must be free means taken, that memory must be free so that next process or other software may use that memory, that free memory. So allocating and making the memory free is the work of this memory management of operating system. Okay, operating system should do it without affecting the other processes that are already residing in the memory. And once the process is finished, it is again the responsibility of the operating system to take the memory space back for utilization, reutilization. Okay, first of all, operating system do not affect other processes and its memory. Okay, do not affect first. This is the work. And then when the work is finished or the process is finished, then again the responsibility of operating system is to take that memory, means that memory we have to take back, make it free. Take back means make it free, okay, free so that next process or other programs may use that program for reutilization. The memory may be reutilized. Hence, memory management concerns the management of main memory. Memory management concerns the management of main memory, okay, so that maximum memory is occupied or utilized by large number of processes while keeping track of each and every location within the memory as free or occupied, okay, and keeping track that which memory is free, okay, what is the location of the memory, each and everything must be tracked by the memory management of operating system. Okay, so memory management is concerned with the primary memory or main memory, that is RAM memory of the computer system. Okay, and it is very much limited, so allocating and then after finishing the processing it must be freed, okay, so that other process may use, because the memory is very much limited. Okay, that's why. Now next, file management. File management, it is done in secondary memory. Okay, data and programs are stored as files in secondary storage. Okay, this deals with secondary storage of a computer system. File management involves creation. File management, what is that? File management, it involves creation, updation, deletion and protection of these files in the secondary memory. Where? In the secondary memory. Creation, updation, okay, deletion and protection. Okay, protection from unexpected deletion or affecting from viruses like this. Now see here, what is protection in detail? Protection is a crucial function of an operating system, as multiple users can access and use a computer system. Okay, protection from unauthorized access of that file also. Okay, it is the responsibility of operating system to protect these files from unauthorized users to use that files. Okay, file management system manages secondary memory. File management, we know it manages secondary memory. Okay, while memory management system handles main memory. Okay, my memory management handles main memory and file management manages secondary memory. Understood? System handles the main memory of a computer system. So both the memory management and file management are different things and manage different types of memory. Memory management manages the primary memory or the RAM memory or the main memory of the computer, while the file management manages the secondary memory, that is the permanent memory of the computer. Okay. Now last one is the device management. Device management means whatever the device we attached with the computer, it may be keyboard, it may be mouse, camera, okay, so many things, devices, input output devices, printer we attached with the computer. Okay, the management of these devices is known as device management. A computer system has many input output devices and hardware connected to it. Operating system manages these heterogeneous devices. The heterogeneous means different types of devices, okay, that are interdependent. Both they are dependent on one another. Okay, so keeping the track of these things, dependency of the devices, the operating system is responsible for managing these devices. The operating system must also provide options. What? It also provide options for configuring a particular device. Configuring means making some changes, settings, or installing or reinstalling or removing or uninstalling. These things are known as configuring a particular device so that it may be used by an end user or some other device. Just like files, devices also need security measures. It also needs security measures, and their access to different devices must be restricted by the operating system to the authorized user, software and other hardware only. For example, suppose we are using here a web camera. Okay, currently we are using with some software. Suppose one software is using the web camera of the computer system. So if we are launching other other software which also needs this web camera, then the operating system here comes in between and it will inform you that this device is already used with other software, so you have to wait or you have to stop the software using. This is known as security measures, and this is done with the help of operating system. Operating system user interface. In this topic we will learn that different types of operating systems are there. Okay, and each operating system offers different types of interface to communicate with the operating system. Okay, some operating system allows to give commands by using the keyboard, by typing the commands. Some allows by touching it, some allows by speaking, so through voice interaction. Okay, so many types of interface is available with different types of operating system. In this topic we will learn like this. There are different types of user interfaces, each of which provide a different functionality. Okay, see here, so many types of also. Okay, command based interface, gesture based interface, voice based, touch based, graphical user interface, types of operating system user. We will learn these things one by one. See here, types of OS, operating system user interfaces. OS provides an interface to allow communication between computer hardware and the user. Okay, what is the base use of interface? Interface means communication between computer hardware and the user. Okay, computer hardware and the user. This is known as interface. Okay, some commonly used interfaces are command based interface. Command based means we have to type the command which we want to execute, which we want to tell the computer. We have to write the command using the keyboard. Graphical user interface, icons or pictures are there, just we have to click on that picture or touch that picture to use graphical user interface. Touch based interface. Touch based interface means everything we have to do using the touch. Okay, these simply mobile systems are already available with touch based interface. Voice based interface, so many assistants are there, Google Assistant, Siri in Apple systems. Okay, they allows us to use voices to interface, to communicate with the computer system. And then gesture based interface, this is the just new system through which we can communicate with the operating system of the computer system. See, we will see here one by one, we will discuss here. First we will discuss command based interface. Command based. Okay, command based interface provides the user to type commands, to instruct the operating system to perform the desired action or to perform the desired action. What we have to do? We have to type the commands. Okay, the user has to remember the names of all the such programs or specific commands. What user has to remember specific commands, okay, which the operating system supports. The user has to remember each and every command. Then only they can give the command by typing through the keyboard. The primary input device used by the user for the command based interface is keyboard. Okay, what is the primary input device? Is the keyboard. Command based interface is often less interactive. Yes, it is known as less interactive because one has to remember the command, and some commands are so many specific type, okay, with options we have to give. So it is less interactive because each and everything we have to type the command to tell the instruction, to give the instruction to the computer, and usually allow a user to run a single program at a time. And there is also limitation. First limitation is we have to type the command, we have to remember those things. And then second thing is it can do one job at a time. Okay, and examples of those operating system which supports command based interface are Microsoft DOS and Unix. Okay, now next is graphical user interface. Windows is obviously a graphical user interface. Now see, graphical user interface is a type of user interface, that allows a user to interact with the computer through images. Okay, through images, pictures, everything. For every work, every command, for everything we have to do with the operating system, there is an image, there is a picture. Okay, and those picture we have to remember only those picture. And also we know that a picture is remembered quickly than the written material. So it is also easier to use graphical user interface operating system for the users, rather than text commands in the form of icons. Okay, images are available in the form of icons, menus, okay, and other visual options. Okay, icons usually represents files and programs stored on the computer. Icons represents files and programs. Okay, on the computer, and Windows represents running programs that user has launched through the operating system. And Windows is there, some Windows, small windows will come, and those windows will tell you that some programs are running programs, okay, through the operating system. The input device usually interact with the GUI, commonly include mouse. Okay, the primary input device is the mouse for the graphical user interface, and secondary is the keyboard. With the help of keyboard, you can also do like this typing or those things we can do. The primary input is the mouse. Okay. Now examples are Microsoft Windows, we know, is the best example of graphical user interface software. Ubuntu is there, Fedora is there, and the Macintosh, Apple's Macintosh software is also a graphical user interface software. These are very easier for the user, easy to remember, easy to work with the graphical user interface, and it is commonly available. Now next one is touch based interface. It is a combination of graphical user interface with the facility to use the PC or the machine by using the touch system, by using the fingers of the computer of the human being. Today, listen, touch based is smartphones, tablets, PCs allows user to interact with the simply using the touch input. Okay, just simply we have to touch, and the software or the program or the app will be opened, and it starts working. Using the touch screen, there is a touch screen, a user provides inputs, okay, to whom? To operating system, then which interpreted by the operating system as commands. Okay, touching means we have to giving the commands to the system. Okay, touching means we are giving commands to the system, like opening an app, closing an app, dialing a number, scrolling across apps, etc. So many things are there just by using the touch system. Okay, now examples we know, Android and iOS, they provide touch based systems. Now next is voice based interface. Voice based interface means through voice we can interact with the system, we can communicate with the system, we can instruct the computer by just giving vocal commands. Okay, modern computers have been designed to address the needs of all types of users. Now this feature, once this feature is added with the operating system, it enables a system to work with different types of users. Even the disabled persons can use these devices very easily, okay, including the people with special needs. Okay, disabled or special needs people who want to interact with the computer, a smartphone, or doing some other task. Users today can use voice based commands to make a computer work in the desired way. Just voice commands are there: open the file, open YouTube, open dial a number, like this. These commands can be given to the computer, and computer will follow the instructions given using the voice system. Here examples are, so many examples are here. See here, iOS in Siri. In iOS operating system, Siri is there. Hello Siri, you can say. In Android, you can see Google Now or OK Google. Okay, this is in Android. Okay, even in Microsoft Windows there is Cortana and so on, so many things. Alexa, some devices, Amazon devices having Alexa. Okay, those things we can use. Now gesture based, this one is the last. Gesture based interface. Some smartphones based on Android and iOS, as well as laptops, let users interact with the devices using gestures. Gestures means using some symbolic things, just giving sign language, it is also called. Say for example, the traffic police use gestures to control the traffic. In same way, we can control the computers also, which are having the gesture based interface, like waving. Okay, waving, okay, saying like this, okay, tilting or eye motion. Okay, these are, yeah, shaking. Through these we can use the smartphones or the computers with the help of gestures. This technology is evolving faster and it has promising potential for application in gaming. Mostly it is used with gaming and medicine and other areas. Okay, gaming and medicines, it is very much helpful gesture based interface. Understood? Now what we have learned? Now there is exercises. Then what we have learned in law? Okay, that there are so many types of operating system user interfaces. There is command based, graphical user based, touch based, voice based and gesture based user interfaces. Through these user interfaces anyone can communicate with the computer. Okay, now it's time to do some exercises, do some task. So these are the tasks for you. Do it yourself. Okay, thank you. This topic is finished.